Here we are at Chicagoland Speedway where we will play host to BPNR action once more. It used to be the championship finale, but now it's only round 3 of the season. It shall be the Laos State 100. A little gimmick that Robbie Gilvan has provided. Whilst they're qualifying, we take a look at the point standings heading into this race. It is Dunlop Rad at the top with 2 really great finishes from Daytona and Indianapolis. He leads the way with Lanilao second, and most recent race winner Tyler Aziz third place. Currently in the bubble zone are Harry Crawford, Cole Rodriguez. They occupy 9th and 10th, while Alexander Hunt and Juku Shinonome occupy the 2 wildcard spots based on points. Looking outside, Lanalon back, Daniel Rodriguez, Julian Howell, Alexander Gonzalez Green, who did pretty well at Daytona in terms of points, but didn't get a good result to show for it, getting wrecked out on the final lap during overtime. Just a few more seconds left in qualifying. And it shall be Kyle Watts on pole. We haven't seen him in the NR scene for quite a while, being occupied by real life duties. He'll drive the number 37. And it's going to be Kyle Watts on his NR return on pole award with Jolene Sims P2. Row 2 consists of Carter Friesen and Alexander Hunt. Row 3, Joshua Clements and Harry Crawford. Row 4, William Viola and Dylan Negron. Row 5 has Daniel Rodriguez and Thomas Troxel, with Stephen Gibson and Tyler Aziz at row 6. Row 7 has William Gregory and Zach Armstrong. Then it is Austin Barnett and Daniel Rivera in row 8. Cole Mather and Riley Trawick will occupy row 9, with Cole Rodriguez and Dylan Pratt in row 10. Aiden Cass 21st, Landon Lau 22nd in row 11. Brandon Carter and Mattis Wells in row 12. Then it is Bedimlik and McCrow in row 13. Lane Johnson and Carl Childress row 14. Thomas Johnson and Xander, well, I'm not gonna bother pronouncing it. Bonada, I'll just say that for his name. Xander Bonada in 30th place, last driver to set qualifying time. Meanwhile, Riley Sperling, Joe Schmuda, and Grave Prower, sorry for butchering, those 3 will not set a lap time. Well, they mentioned championships was a top priority, and that was last season, where we saw Stephen Gibson win the race, while the dominant driver of Alexander Gonzalez Green take the championship honors. And Donald Pratt is the driver to look at. He was in a desperate championship stake back then, but now he leads a championship, so much as we discussed last Tuesday during post-race interviews, he's not too concerned about this race. He just wants to get a good momentum to go and carry over what occurred at Daytona and Indianapolis, so he's a really good favorite. And Kyle Watts, if you never raced with Kyle Watts, you missed out on quite a bit of domination. He won 3 straight DSRA championships and won numerous races in NORL, OSCC, all those popular leagues. Not so much in IFAR as far as I remember, but he was just a dominant force. When he enters into a race car, he is guaranteed to be in race winning contention, no matter what track it is. So, with him winning pole tonight, that seems like he's never missed a beat, and hopefully that can translate to a race victory. Who else do we want to look at? Thomas Troxel. He served his suspension in Indianapolis, and now in an Audi sponsored Toyota Camry, he is back in action and has quite a hole in the point standings to make up. Tyler Aziz, I do remember him doing well in the IFAR race here and got taken out by Stevie Gibson in that exchange. So with him starting, I believe it was top 3. No, he's starting 12, so deeper in the field than he would like, but still, like, it's better than being towards the back where you had to waste their tires just to get the track position necessary for the first pit stop. And Z's won the last BPNR race, so still some stride in him to go 2 wins in a row. So tonight's been interesting. And allow mentioning in the team speak that while cooling rules are going to apply here. Now, while we're still in a happy hour, what is while cooling? Well, you take your, well, at most tracks, you would take your side of the tire. So, in oval tracks, you'll take your right side of the tires and just graze the wall. And that will cool off the tires. Better example, as broadcast here, this is at Indianapolis. And look at the F4 menus. I want you to look at the right side. Watch me as I was very aggressive when I was testing it. I'm just grazing the wall down the front stretch. And that just cooled off so much of my tires. And, well, here the data I got, at least for that bunch. You lose 7 to 8 degrees when you're on wall cooling. That's just natural cooling when you're going straight, but it's double the amount when you're wall cooling down the streets. And I did 15 laps, both one set without wall cooling and another one with. So that is your data to hopefully encourage you who are not familiar with wall cooling or have known about it, regardless what your case may be, to not do this. It really dishonors the whole idea of tire saving. So now at Chicago is interesting. There is a curve along the backstretch, and while it is possible, it is significantly harder to do so. As Chicagoland, it's apart from the pit lane, there is no straight line, if you want to say that, around those 1.5 mile intermediate. So, Lane Allow has been, well, I didn't see it in the most recent penalty report from Indianapolis, but that is something he is cracking down on, and I will applaud him for that. Speaking of penalty report, we do have one notable thing I do want to bring up. Roman Gonzalez suspended for tonight. He was the D2 winner here at Chicago. That was then the season finale. That was for a bad merge on the final lap. We never caught it on the broadcast because we were focused on the final battle, but yeah, it's just something that shouldn't happen. Even if you're wrecked, you want to try your best to stay out of the way. And unfortunately, he misjudged the gap between one. He misjudged the gap to get down to the apron safely and out of the way, but he just misjudged it, and it ultimately cost some good people like Dylan Negron a top 10 finish from Indianapolis. So currently, one minute and 30 seconds left on the clock for happy hour. So, not really much to talk about till then. Shmuda just found his way to the infield. I don't know how he managed to do that, but that's just exploring the boundaries of what's possible in sandbox. It's just driving places you shouldn't. And just checking stuff. Get these two fighting each other, if you can even call it that. So a bit of a delay. And yeah, we're gonna have to reset happy hour. And just happy hour silliness going on while we're still waiting. I feel like Watts has the best chance of winning tonight, but I don't know, very tough competition. And yeah, it's, I wouldn't say it's guaranteed for Kyle Watts, but it's certainly a favorite for tonight's race at Chicagoland, just a few moments away from starting. It's a bit of a delay. And Atlanta Lounge has been notorious for delays. He DM'd me during practice saying, we're going at 8:30 no matter what. And what does he do? He backs out the server. There wasn't anyone in his 300 number, but to much of our dismay, it was just to, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know what the reason was. He just decided to back out of the server. And that just made the delay even more prevalent than it already was. Just more communications going on. Clarifying pits. It is yellow line to yellow line, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, that's Brandon Carter in his side games Toyota heading in, just giving us a little bit of a demonstration. It is 45 miles per hour here, and it's definitely an interesting pit lane because you're never fully straight, remember that. So I might as well get my camp set up. Well, we're still on the injury. I can give or take IFR having delays and might as well just push it back to 10 p.m. starts, much like they used to. But man, it's getting ridiculous with BPNR. We could have gotten at least 10 laps of racing by now. Well, really depends on the track, but we could have gotten racing by this point. Get running, but right now, we're still waiting. So what I've been DM'd in chat, he is setting up a script, a external script that clears up black flags in an instant. This is more prevalent in OSCC and Coral, or even Essex. So that's what he's trying to, that allows trying to set up right now, and fortunately that just means we have to wait a bit longer. So I might as we switch scenes here, we could see. And yep, there's the script right there. Well, mostly. Kind of.
Drivers, to your cars.
Yeah, I've seen a script before, and I don't think that's how it should go. So now it's finally race time. I'm gonna get set up real quick and yep. So you have 33 cars slated to take the green flag here. And there's the third race of championship. It is lightning outside of my household. I don't live too far away from the track actually in real life, so
Drivers, start your
it's
engines!
considered my own track and it is lightning outside. So if weather was ever a thing in NR, we would be under a rain delay, unfortunately, or even a lightning clock. Hopefully, this stream stays up all the way through. And I guess while in the talks of weather, our server host Dagrom Strong getting tornado warnings, so that's not great. But yeah, hopefully it stays up the entire way. Under the lights, enjoy it. It is Kyle Watts in his return, leading the field to the green flag, and it is out. We are underway from Chicago, and they're already dead in the back. That is Joe Schmutter and Crowder in the back. And that'll be our resets, unfortunately. We didn't even, well, I can't confirm nor deny, but I don't think they made it to the green flag before they started wrecking. So we just reset our cams once again, and yep. Also a good chance to look over our race info. It is 67 laps tonight. It is a 2x rare race. Cup physics. And going overtime as possible. Likely going to be a one-stop race. It was 81 laps last season for the championship finale, so that means one less pit stop. But 67 laps
Drivers,
means
start your
you gotta take
engines!
extra care of those tires. You want to save them enough to where the fuel can actually, you have to pit for fuel rather than tires. So most of these guys and gals towards the top 10, I've driven them enough to know that this should be a good race amongst them, and perhaps some others towards the back once they climb their way towards the front. Tries again. Watts and Sims on the front row. Green flag is out, and we're clean this time, underway from Chicago. And it's already Watts trying to get clear of Jolene Sims right out of the gate, and he will do so. He'll be that one nearly bargy towards the back. That is Troxel on the top lane, Negron stuck in the middle. Ports of a spin at turn 2, but we got more towards the back. That's exit of turn 4. Trying to find them. That is Aiden Akas in a number 84. Unfortunately, that was also a single car accident. I believe that was the 80. No, it was these goobers. Sander in the grass here. And we missed the exchange for the lead, trying to gather everyone back up. And Watts has fallen to third after starting from pole. Here comes Carter Friesen on the outside. The multi-groove intermediate proven well in IFR, and it will do the same here in BPNR. Friesen, or Carter Friesen, who launched into the sky in the LCQ, is now finding himself in the race lead. 3 different lap leaders in the first 3 laps. We got a wreck towards the back. Only a single car, that is Austin Barnett. And the number 2, Ford Mustang. No caution for that. So Carter Friesen pulling away. And second is by herself. Third place is having a battle amongst Kyle Watts and Alexander Hunt. And Hunt in the number 49. Pink and bright blue Chevrolet Camaro will inherit the spot. And he's actually going to go after Jolene for second place. And Watts hasn't always been the best at tire saving strategies, but I'm sorry, with the track position, especially with starting on pole, he definitely has the best advantage. He can just let everyone else go and just cruise for a little bit. And Joshua Clements in the number 92 green Toyota Camry on the outside. And fighting for a top 5 currently. Here Crawford in the middle, trying to hold his own. I predict for Crawford that it'll go down in a similar way he did with IFAR. That was at Homestead Miami Speedway, another tire degradation track. He burst out, but he fell like a rock later into the run when we did actually get green flag run. So I predicted that'll be the same thing for him, and with him right in the middle, that is going to be more evidence to back up my claim, as he's now fighting for 5th, or trying to defend 5th. Sorry, that's 6th rather now, against Troxel. Troxel able to make the pass. Got Gibson rallying his way back up the order. Well, one way or another. He was close, and that's a terrible camera angle, I do apologize. He was fighting for the win at Indianapolis, but then spun through the short chute in between 3 and 4 and just took himself out of the race, so not entirely demotivated from that. He finds himself nice currently. Got lap 9 out of 67 scheduled green flag laps here at Chicagoland Speedway. And we already got a lap car. That is Gray Power. Man, he's going to be in a bad spot. We saw a little bit of inexperience from him at Indianapolis, and that ultimately got him wrecked, and he's going to go to the apron, get out of everyone's way. Oh boy, that is for a second, and that is Thomas Johnson spun at the exit of turn 2, and he'll get out of the way safely. Still no caution. 10 laps complete. We haven't had a caution yet. And we already had a fallout from the server. That is a 75 of Xander. So he'll have to wait until the next caution flag to get the laps back. Got Tyler Aziz in the Starset car riding top lane. Started 12th and hasn't gained nor lost anything. He had that gain of 0 after 11 laps. single file for the time being. The bottom lane has to be the preferred lane, and when your tire is saving, less distance to cover, less stress on those tires as you turn the steering wheel. You're still at it for it, but it's now P3. That'll be Truxel on the outside, and Kyle Watts, who fell back in early going, now back in third place. Top two of Hunt and Friesen in second and first respectively have pullen away. It is just a large distance out, and I am extremely concerned on what the consequences will be. And that great power could likely spun at turn 1 is going to get lapped again. Yeah, I just, as much as I don't know how to put it, as much as I don't want to disrespect him, it's like, I think he needs to start elsewhere, like, go to a different league, and preferably something that's smaller, allow him to get the experience, and man, that is, look at this, he is being an active hazard, dude. Not even 100 miles an hour. Again, I don't like dissing people, but unfortunately, that's just the truth. And Landalao over the Global Whisper just reinciting what I've just mentioned about the number 89, the rookie driver in NR, only his second race in online competition, and this, if you're going to start out in online, don't throw yourself to the wolves. It's just asking for a bad first impression. But anyway, back to the action. Everyone has strong single file, and they have gathered up to close in on Hamilton and Hunt. And then Carter Friesen, still your race leader, has led all but 2 laps so far, has just lapped 8 in the cast after he went around. Yet to have a caution here in the third round of the BPNR Championship. Carter Friesen leads with Alexander Hunt second, Kyle Watts third, Jolene Sims P4, Dylan Legrand P5, Harry Crawford P6, William Viola P7, Gibson P8, Daniel Rodriguez P9, and Cole Rodriguez, completing your top 10. Only have one retirement so far, that is the number 75, who have fell out of the server and has not returned since. On board with Cole Rodriguez, he's been oddly consistent at the intermediates as of recent. His recent start, Season 7, his last 3 intermediates, all was in the top 6. And on top of that, he won the Rookie of the Year honors in Season 7. So he's a hot, I'd say a good underdog pick if you're rooting for the 91 team. And Harry Crawford stuck amongst the top lane. I was worried about him. Like I mentioned, he burnt up his stuff in IFAR and fell back, and just same story, different track, and different league for that matter. And Viola and P6 across the line, trying to make a move on the ground for the top 5. But he slips up a bit and allows Steven Gibson to the inside, and that's not going to transpire too well as Viola spinning across the backstretch equalizes Harry Crawford. And that will prompt our first caution of the night. Near collision there between Trawick and Bedimlik. The race back is complete. Carter Friesen's advantage after 21 laps is all for naught. He will lead the race back with Alexander Hunt second and Kyle Watts third. So we shall see, but well, we got more wrecks under the race back, but we're going to take a look at the initial wreck that brought out the caution flag. Our first one of the night here at Chicagoland Speedway. Here we go, we got William Viola side by side with Gibson. He just gets loose, smacks the wall, overcorrects, and Crawford and like nowhere to go there. The Cats had to get on the brakes. And unfortunately, that's not the first time I've seen him overcorrect at intermediate. It was a disarray championship finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. He was leading towards the race back and little overcorrection took out that was Harry, not Harry, sorry. Trying to find him. Jonathan Salos, who was a championship threat, and took him out. On board with in the cast. So under our first caution flag here in Chicagoland Speedway, BPNR's third race of the season. And appears to me everyone has pitted as far as I knew. I think it's time to change some things. Actually, put pit lane cam 1 here at exit. And take a good look at the cars from, I guess, a drone view. And it'll be at the choose cone. Here we go. So let me go back and actually to the pit stops here while we're under caution and still sorting things out. As Watts warps across Jolene's nose to get into this pit box. And it was actually Dylan Negron who went up the pit lane with Friesen second and Watts third. It shuffled things quite a bit, but I don't see the 77. Oh, he had to pit again, so that meant Carter Friesen. Don't think we were meant. Yeah, about to say we're not. I don't think they were meant to choose there, but yeah, Carter Friesen retains his lead with Watts second, and Hunt third. And just about everyone went down the pits and took 4 tires. So, excuse me. We have currently working lap 25. And well, the bit awkward as the base car we're going to head in, but we're not meant to go green, as this time by will be the choose cone. So choose cone this time, and well, then we don't have a physical cone anymore, but here we go. Frieza on top and Watts second. It can be top side and bottom, respectively. So we got 41 laps towards the end of the race, the scheduled end of the race. I would still do a one stop personally. Saving 8 laps of fuel is just too big of a order. And got reminded that the halfway is soon. We got top 5 who received points. Gonna be 15, 12, 9, 6, and 3. No caution will be called for it. And we'll just continue racing. So, for car reason, it works favorably if we were to end now. So green this time by. And car freezing calls control through game chat. We are back on the way. I was did not get the jump you would like, and now allowed them to slip back towards Jolene Sims. 3 wide for P4, that Alexander Hunt on the outside with Daniel Rodriguez making it 3. 49 blinked out, but is back. Still a bit of blank flags in the chat. Jolene Sims tries the top lane. Don't think it'll be too well. Well, as I say that, she gets around the outside and Kaiwan's cuts her some slack. And they can be a little bit aggressive because these are stage points of line here. But you don't want to push them too much because there is no caution at the halfway point. The conclusion of lap 34 is when the stage points are being handed out. Is Carter Frieza, much like he did in that first stint. Yeah, he is just running away with this lead, and he has set his personal best lap of the race. Actually, take a look at it. He has actually set the fastest lap of the race last time round. A little bit slower this time, but it should be a reasonable gap to have him win this stage. Lots of warpers tonight. We saw the 49 blink out, 21, and that was Cat Watts also. Number 37. All with warping issues, yeah, nothing more to them. And we got 2 separate wrecks towards the back. I believe that was Shmuda and Johnson, considering how far off pace they are. It was after turn 4. We see the smoke there. The accident has been cleared. And now the only driver amongst the top lane of this gaggle of cars at least. Side by side with Aziz, and he'll defend the position. That's for P13. And as opposed to William Gregory in the number 30, he is pinching. Oh. I think that And I believe the server has died. I did mention that Zach got a tornado. Our server host, Zach Armstrong, got a tornado warning. And I think it has came. Yeah, we fell out the TeamSpeak, so that is really unfortunate. And yeah, there it goes. So, so yeah, red flag for BPNR's third race of the season at Chicagoland Speedway. Server crash has just occurred, so we're gonna have to wait a bit and me at this point probably get a backup server up and going, so it shouldn't happen again. And got confirmation the last scoring loop, aka the last time everyone crossed the start finish line prior to the server reset or server crash, that will be your top 5. I can't. While we're waiting, I could also check replay right now and give you the top 5. So your top 5 for the stage was Carter Friesen, Jolene Sims, Kyle Watts, Daniel Rodriguez, and Joshua Clements. Those were your top 5 and will get stage points. And this gives everyone a good chance to reset themselves. As we wait for the server to come back up, it'll likely be 35-ish laps now. So that means um, he doesn't need a pit stop anymore. Overtime is still indeed possible. Apparently the server didn't go completely down, so that meant it was like Homestead and Saturday night if you were there for that. Really strange. Yeah, and that messed up the scorings because the server didn't go completely down, so that would mean uh there is scoring issues, therefore we have to completely take it down and boot it back up. That gives everyone a fresh car, good reset. And right now I am so he kicked it back to happy hour because he didn't completely take it down. So I think what will end up happening is we're gonna take a lap or two to correct the order and likely reset, but I want to say 35 to go. So I am back in the server. I just need to take care of a couple things on my end, but yeah. Happy hour, let's just give everyone a note. Um, do apologize, and stuff like this happens. Unfortunately for me, it's the second race in a row where I had to experience server issues whilst broadcasting. So now we're back in happy hour, kind of just waiting around just to see, get everyone back in, and yeah, we also acquired Johnson Silos, who was meant to off-track officiate, but had overslept. So we get an off-track admin for the second half of the race. Guess also get my pit cam set up. They're dead. As if BPNR needs any more delays, unfortunately a server crash has tempted us. So what does this do? It resets everyone's cars. We thankfully kept the pit stall selection. So everyone gets a mental reset. It's likely going to be 35 to 40 laps now till the checker flag. And that changes up strategy. It was going to be a one stop no matter what, but now likely there won't be any pit stops unless there's a caution. So reports coming in. Race control has had enough of Grave Pryor in the number 89 Chevrolet. He was too far off the pace and has proven to be a hazard, so he is done for the night. And honestly, I do not blame him whatsoever. Yeah, unfortunate. So that means two retirements. Uh, number 75 and most recently, Day 9 has been DQ'd. IFAR and BPNR share the same similarities somehow, one way or another. BPNR uses IFAR spec tracks. They both use NCS21. They, in their most recent race, including the one tonight, they had a server issue, which meant they had to reset the race, quote unquote. We've had at least one DQ. Just too many similarities. I just can't prove it. Yeah, just dead zone. So, Salos, the off-track admin who has just shown up, he has the admin, or the black flag script rather, and he's going to quickly test run that, and then we can go to race, set everyone's order correctly, and yeah. A date with St. Pete's and iRacing. Well done. Two No, one caution rather. We are just being chilling. I mean, I'm not opposed to getting someone in here real quick. And nothing better to do. Now, we're in race now, so play.
Drivers, to your cars.
So, yep, gonna reset the order. And no confirmation on what men the new race distance will be. It is, so, which kind of just, I need to read on confirmation on the lap counts.
Drivers, start your engines.
Okay, confirmation. We're going, including the formation lap, we're going to the conclusion of lap 36. At least for the scheduled distance, we do have overtime. Only one attempt at it. So they'll take this first lap to, excuse me. So pace car heads in, we're not going green. They shall do a formation lap. So yeah, they're going to be double file. It's Carter Friesen, Jolene Sims, Kyle Watts, Dan Rodriguez, Joshua Clemens, your top five. Those are the drivers who got stage points before the server died. Is then Plaid, Hunt, Cole Rodriguez, Troxel, and Gibson, completing your top 10 under the second caution of the. Sorry, that's Gibson 9th and Rivera 10th, rather. Like, you're going to need a second formation lap under the second caution of the night. And the third race at the BPNR Championship here at Chicagoland Speedway. A server crash is forcing us to reset the order, and hopefully we can get going real soon. Yeah, which is taking a bit. Even they're powering at 20s. Don't think it'll be quick enough. Get the way Carter Friesen has led the most laps so far, he's a driver that honestly people should be scared about. He led the first portion of the race mainly because he pulled out and stayed in the lead, and a caution helped him after 20 laps to complete. The field run lasts around 33 to 35 laps. Yeah, we're getting. I would. As much as I'd like to go green now, I don't recommend it. Yep, going to do another lap here. And with the new order, we will instead go to the end of lap 37 to complete the original 67 lap distance. Overtime is prevalent. So we have our reset. 30 cars remain in the race. I know 2 of them DNF, I don't know who else. Who else we are missing? Oh, my game crashed. That's cool. I was gonna have to fix something in the ticker anyway, so that's not fun. Well, um, they're about to go green, and I could join the server, but it's quiet, so they're gonna use game chat. I'd rather not disturb them. And just waiting on that. It is still not letting me back in. There we go. Took me a while. Took a while for the game to kick me out. I apologize, and I'll get you back to the action as soon as I'm able. Alright, should be good now. Do apologize, I just found the server about. We were meant to go green. Back on the way in the the IFAR inspired Chicagoland Speedway that BPNR is running. Carter Friesen has checked out. As to no one's surprise. Everyone running the top lane, and very interesting. We haven't seen that in the first stint. I suppose now because we're going to the end of lap 37, that means tire saving is going to be more prevalent, and as far as at least the drivers believe that they can run the top lane, get speeds down while it's up there, but also being able to defend positions. Real quick on board is I was at Hans, but I fixed this. Anton Hans was also one of the 2 drivers to benefit with the early caution on lap 22. He was running P2 and looked to be in the same idea as Carter Friesen. Yeah, Friesen just locked in, bro. He said at 30.2. No one else has cracked the... Well, few people did, but second place? Well, no longer second place. Dan Rodriguez 30.7 last time. And Joshua Clemens has picked up the pace. He sets at 30.4. So that just means one way or another, Carter Friesen won't stay pretty at the front. And Thomas Johnson was damaged. Just a strangler towards the back. Unfortunately, he had damage in both parts of the race. Excuse me. Dylan Pratt, 3rd place, just in car number 3 has been. He's actually clutching in. He's been methodically moving up and kind of just caught in the crossfires in the top 10. So for him to be P3, he's. Oh, there's a caution. Caution now, their 3rd one of the night at Chicago. Carter Friesen leads them to the race back. Clements 2nd and LaPrat 3rd. Shall take a look at what occurred. Okay, starts here with Alexander Hans, the pink car in the middle. Trapped by Bargy with Elaine Johnson and Daniel Rivera. He spins up across the track. And a secondary collision has forced the 89 into the gas fence. And now it's Austin Barnett also collected. Oh, Trilek was slowing down and Badimlik clipped her. That is Badimlik in a number 66 Toyota. The red, white, and black. That triggers our 3rd caution of the day. Race off pit lane. It is Carter Friesen, Clements, and Cole Rodriguez 3rd. Everyone else trying to get their spots out of the pits. Third caution of the night here at Chicagoland Speedway, 3rd round of the BPNR Championship for the Laos State 100. After a server crash, we are in the second half of this lap, lap 9 out of 35. So we go in the game to the conclusion of lap 37, but overtime is possible. Here's Carter Friesen, who leads Clements, Cole Rodriguez out of the pits, but it's also LaPrade, Jolene Sims, Daniel Rodriguez, Steven Gibson, Landon Lyle, Tyler Aziz, and Kyle Watts, your top 10. Watts, intense. That is the lowest he's been all day. It'd be interesting to see how he works his way back up the field. Going to be choose cone. Well, this time round, once the pace lights go out. A good roof damage for the 49 car. And Mattis Wells. I thought it was also roof band damage, but I was about to say he wasn't involved in the wreck, it's just the camera's far away. So now the field's tire strategy isn't completely out of the window, but there is no need for another pit stop unless we go into overtime. Gonna be choose cone this time. Carter Friesen as lean choice. Keep myself hydrated because we've been here too long already. Carfeeson seems to favor the top lane when restarting as the leader. He's yet to surrender the lead when it comes to these restarts, so now I just got Clemenson's inside. He's pretty good at timing. Cole Rodriguez and Dylan Pratt would be the two of them respectively. Talking about Cole Rodriguez, he's had his last three intermediates. His worst finish of those three was 6th place or 7th place. I actually don't remember, but we'll go on board with him as the pace car heads in. And we're set to go green once more. A better launch for Clemens on the inside lane, and we're going to have a new leader into turn 1, the number 92. He won at I-4 at Homestead due to bizarre circumstances. A bizarre route to get there, but he's found himself a lead. Aggressive move, and I think there's back towards the back. Yes, there is. That is Tyler Aziz, Daniel Rivera, Kyle Watts. Big hits. Thomas Troxel, and Zach Armstrong. And Joe Shmuda. Elaine Johnson also collected. Wayne Clements leading at the raceback. Cole Rodriguez and LaPrade completing your top 3. Going to be our 4th caution of the race. Going to try and onboard. We're going to go with Dylan Negron and the number 77 here. Oof. Just wrong place, wrong time. It's just many people trying to gather the same real estate, and that just causes them. Watts smack brushes the wall. It's originally just as him and Aziz, but then Rivera, I suppose, pressured into the wreck, gets collected as well. Brandon Carter gets a piece of it. And supposedly there's a plow back here. Come on, you guys see Shmuda back there? You got Troxel spinning. Look out! Oh, that's Thomas Johnson and a number 94 Peugeot plowing into the back of Troxel. On board with Shmuda as he takes her down the backstretch. He didn't know where to go. He hits Elaine Johnson and gets hit from behind. And again, and that was Austin Barnett, I believe? Yes. Roll back the tape to see if anyone pitted. Mostly those who need to pit for new tires. Mattis Bells being one of them. Kyle Watts. I suppose I praised him a bit too much, and unfortunately he just got collected in a wreck that doesn't necessarily take him out of contention, but he's gonna have a lot of work to do to get back to the front. Under caution number 4 in Chicagoland Speedway, 3rd round of the BPNR Championship. It is Joshua Clements staying out to keep the race lead, along with Cole Rodriguez, Don LaPrade, Carter Friesen, Jolene Sims, your top 5, with Daniel Rodriguez, Steven Gibson, Landon Lyle, Aiden Lacasse, and William Viola looking outside, but are still within the top 10. Currently 21 laps to go. It is a bit of a doozy. BPNR hasn't had the best of races, but we're still kicking. Thomas Troxel got collected in the wreck, getting plowed into by the 94. Surprised there's not much more damage to the number 1 Audi Toyota Camry. I suppose that's just the luck of the draw with moderate damage. Going to be choose cone this time, and we'll see. Now that Carter Friesen is in the leader, what lane does he go in? And Clemens is going to take a book out of the 67th team, takes the outside as the race leader. See everyone else flock in. It's going to be 19 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. It's going to be cold tires for most of these guys. The 20, as far as I know, has the freshest tires. Although 1 lap difference isn't something to gloat about. But that does mean warm tires as opposed to most of the top 10, even top 20. Who stayed out and is going to be on cold tires. Got 3 Toyotas occupy the top 3 with LePrat's Chevrolet and the outside second car. 19 laps are left. Back on the way, even speed started for the 2 of them, but Cole Rodriguez gets it better of them. And it is Dunlop Pratt who doesn't get a good jump. He'll lose advantage of the track position. Daniel Rodriguez with an amazing jump. He'll go up to 3rd with a bit of a argy-bargy with Friesen. And Daniel Rodriguez has just been one of those people who I think he's destined to win a race eventually as they reckon it back. That'll be a caution. If I could get back to it, we can see who is involved. Dash Carl Childress. 2 weeks in a row. Riley Trovick, William Gregory, Zach Armstrong, Thomas Johnson. Man, oh man, it's just getting more and more embarrassing. And through the trial, the wreck has been cleared out. Cole Rodriguez wins the race back. Joshua Clemens 2nd, and Carter Friesen 3rd. Slowly but surely working his way back up the order. See here, we got the 94 Thomas Johnson. Now self spins in the middle of 3 and 4. There's a bump there. And it really upsets the car. Actually, there were 2 wrecks, both ending in the same conclusion. Car spinning and just run towards the outside wall. So a secondary wreck that we watched is Carl Childress who initially spun. And I collected more cars than the one behind them. Troxel involved again. This man has had no luck as of the second half of the race. Man, oh man, we can't even get going. Everyone pits here. Now, that's because Lana Lau has instituted a caution cooldown for this next restarts. Unless there is a track blocker, there will be no cautions for, I want to say, 5 laps. Need confirmation on that. It was going to be tied at exit. I'm actually going to look back at that. See who won off the pit lane. Cole Rodriguez ahead of Clements by a nose. Is Daniel Rodriguez able to keep third out of the pits? Fifth caution of the night. Right. Going to be 15 laps to go as they cross the line under caution here. And they'll choose that time round, so we're going green with 13 to go. Saving is pretty much out the window, but I do expect someone like Clements or maybe even Cole Rodriguez to save a little bit once the tires are heated up. That way they can go full push for the final 5 laps or so. That's presuming we do not go into overtime. Talaziz, he got involved in the 4th caution. That was 2 cautions ago, but that big one at the backstretch. He is back up to 2nd. It's good to have track position, especially when going under a caution cooldown. So if a wreck occurs, you're not in the heart of the wreck. Fortunately for goobers here, like I want to say if you're outside the top 15, you're in prime zone to get taken out during the caution cooldown. So she's gone this lap. And Carter Friesen takes the inside this time. We saw him predominantly take the outside whenever he was the leader. This is the first time tonight he has taken the inside lane. Rest of the field flags up. And see. 4 retirements, at least in the second half. We got Carl Childress, Daniel Rivera, Josh Muda, and Alexander Hunt out of the race in the second half. Caution cooldown going on this time. So if I had to guess, it's likely the conclusion of lap 30. And that sets up 6 laps for another caution to occur, and that'll likely send them into an overtime attempt. The only overtime attempt BPNR allows. Going to be 13 to go. It'd be Friesen, Aziz, Clements, and Rodriguez, your top 4 into the restart zone. We are back on the way at Chicago. Already 3 wide, that is William Viola in the burrito wrap. Oh, Cole Rodriguez slipping and oh boy, no, you can't get hit. That is Dunlap Pratt flipping at the backstretch. And that would be on the ground. Kyle Watson ball got more towards the back here on the great strong contenders. Taken out first lap of the caution cooldown. Land allow also collected caution has been called. I did mention the only exception was if there were a track blocker, and that was indeed a track blocker. Yo, Carter, where you going, man? Slow down. So Carter Friesen takes the lead. Well, keeps the lead. Clements second, Aziz third. And what has been a really disappointing race. I ain't gonna cut it slack. This race was just god awful. going to go on board with Aiden Lacanis, number 84. You see, yep, 91 just slipping and gets bounced upward by the 27 of Viola. And that's all it takes. It's just one slip and someone to knock you back the other way. And Carl Rodriguez had a decent start. He clips the apron, and that's the prime cause of it. He collects, fortunately, everyone towards the outside. Got Watts spinning. Dunlop Pratt I was really hoping he'd do well after his championship falter. Dylan Negron. Dana Lau are one of our two race admins for tonight. He's handing off at this race. Bit ironic from the interview I had with them and Colin Teague after the exhibition event at the LA Coliseum. Dana Lau mentioned how he loved Chicago, and this is just one of the bad apples of races that have been held here. The season 4 winner at this track just biting his own tongue, I suppose. Might as well ask that if we're going to. Yep, under cooldown again, and now with less laps to work with. Going to the conclusion of lap 37 in game, so currently 10 laps to go. Going green with 9. And assuming we can get somewhere, that really removes any validation for tire saving at this point. Look through the top 10. Name we haven't mentioned. Well, I did at one point, but only for a wreck. Nicholas Bedimlik found himself 8th place. But it's going to be Friesen and Clements front row. Friesen back to his comfy track position. His lane choice. Green flag. Back towards the back, that'll be Dylan Negron. We're under caution cooldown for the second time. We didn't even make it a lap the first time we went under cooldown. Clements with the inside takes the lead, but it comes Friesen with the head of steam on the 92. Going to try the outside again as he is forced to. And he'll get the lead back. And all Clements in the wall, that's bad to mention, but the dirty air in NR, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's still there, and you just have to go where the leader isn't. And I allowed Jolene Sims to close up with that little grace against the wall for the 92 car. And Carter Friesen, we've seen him be able to check out in the early going, and I believe there's enough laps now where he can just go full push and run away with this race win, assuming no more cautions occur. All strong single file as Watts warps. That'll be for 7th place as he's having to back out. Sets up a 3-wide move, but nowhere for Gregory nor Crawford to take them. Gibson trying something. He He wrecked himself out of the race win in Indianapolis and is trying to make headway in this late stage. Going to try a 3-ride move around the outside of Daniel Rodriguez and William Viola. Is that close enough yet? Oh boy. Bidimlik in the number 66, he's trying to carry some of that iRacing knowledge into this race. It worked around well when I far ran here at Chicagoland last time for the season finale, and trying to apply the same strategies here, and you could just see the gap between Clements and Friesen Rodriguez, the race leader. He is gone. Inside move for Watts, going to be for 7th place. But Clemens is going to lose quite a bit as the near contact occurs down at the exit of turn 4. Steven Gibson below the apron. That is legal here. And he's going to take, that'll be 4th place from Daniel Rodriguez and Joshua Clements. Jolene Sims and William Viola, 2 Fords, will complete the podium places. And the Toyotas is just slipping back, but one Toyota has not been affected. That is Carter Friesen and a number 67 car. Watts is still warping a storm in his NR return. Mattis Bells, then a number 20 damaged. He's off the way. Out of turn 4. Should be white flag this time. And yep, white flag for Carter Friesen. This man launched into the sky at Daytona trying to qualify for the Daytona 150. Wasn't able to make it in. And after a dominant day, I was concerned about him at first, but he has proven that he is mad fast around Chicago, and he is going to win. Enjoy it. But this man is just a machine tonight, and that'll be his first win of the season. Makes up for the disaster class that was the LCQ in terms of his race. And be Toyota's second win of the season. Tyler Zade's being the first last week. What a deserving victory. Carter Friesen burns it down in front of Chicago. To his credit, there isn't much tire saving strategy, as we've never had green flag pit stops the entire race, but he had the short run speed and was just able to keep that when the run settled in. I just don't know how he did it. Kind of doing a little bit of lawn mowing service. And that will end up being a first win for a team. I kind of forgot the team name, but man, this race was just something. Well, the results got screwed up. That's unfortunate. I'm actually just gonna I'll just do that. His car reason who wins. Here at Chicago, with William Viola P2, Jolene Sims P3, 21 of Stephen Gibson P4, Harry Crawford top 5. Good job for him. Nicholas Bedimlik P6, Daniel Rodriguez P7, William Gregory P8, Tyler Aziz P9, and it is Clements top 10. Riley Trawick P11 with Landon Isle P12. Number 12 is Cole Mather P13. Aiden Lacasse 14th. Aiden McCrow P15. Thomas Johnson P16. I suspect he's going to get a penalty for his plow. 17th is Austin Barnett. Cole Rodriguez P18. Number 3, Dunlap Pratt P19. It really sucks for him. He had a really great race going and just get collected in a massive accident. And then Zach Armstrong P20. Lee Johnson 21st with Dylan DeGrom 22nd. 37. Then it's Kyle Watts. Really strong contender, but then just wrecked quite a lot in the second half of the race. That took him out of the race win. Brandon Carter 24th. Thomas Troxell 25th. Mantis Mills 26th. Carl Childress P27. 98. Daniel Rivera P28. Joe Schmuder 29th. And Alexander Hunt 30th. That is at least for this server, we've had 3 DNFs that did not take part in this second half of the race. I know Grave Power was parked, and Sander had a connection issue. Really unfortunate for them. I don't recall who else DNF'd, but I just had the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Got a couple, quite a few interviews actually.
User was moved to your channel.
Dylan, do you got me?
Wait, let me turn you up a little bit. Hello?
Hello. Well, this race wasn't the prettiest.
No, it was not. Pretty disappointing today because I thought I had some decent speed and I got involved in like a lot of accidents near the end that were just right in front of me. So, I thought the track was good, but I felt like a lot of people just kept trying to win it on the restarts, and yeah, just really unfortunate.
Well, maybe don't down upon tonight, but perhaps into the future, next Tuesday, if I could find a damn schedule. What's your expectations for Barbagello?
So funny, I won't be here, so I won't be at the race, but
Well,
from what I imagine, it's gonna be better. I hope. I watched the D2 race, and I thought it was a pretty decent race. I guess like the only bugaboos like the pit stalls, or the pit road entrance, but I believe I forget what's after that.
that would be 5 flags.
Okay, so for 5 flags, I'm a bit scared to be honest, because it's a short track, and considering the past 2 races, it's felt like we can't handle runs like that, and I am a little terrified. But I do think that I think it'll improve once the fields calm down with field sizes. I do feel like some of the problems are like the same few cars, and admittedly, like it, I think it'll be better for sure. It just stinks that we had a lot of accidents when before the server crash. I thought it was a pretty good race.
Well, I believe you still finished the race, and just kudos to you to at least had the persistency to finish the race. Thank you for joining me.
Of course, thank you for having me.
User was moved out of your channel.
What we got?
User was moved to your channel.
Is this the Carter Friesen?
Oh, hello. Oh, I can barely hear you. Hold on.
I might be quiet, my bad.
Can I change? Oh, I can change your volume. Okay, there we go. Now can I hear you?
Hello?
Yeah, you're good now. Hello.
You just amazed me tonight. For a track like this where tires mattered so much, you just proved everyone else wrong. You led the majority of the laps tonight. You checked out early and just stayed up there. How did you do it?
Well, the big thing was, I mean, obviously practice was definitely important. From the time that I hit the track, like I could tell the car was going to be tight, so it was all about basically just backing up the entry to get the best possible like mid corner and exit that you possibly could. The other thing I noticed was the top was significantly better for cooling off tires, so that definitely helped a lot. And people running the bottom just weren't really able to make that much ground. So, I mean, I don't think I was necessarily doing anything, special by any means. I think I was just, having a different strategy compared to everyone else. But yeah, overall, really good race. I'm very, very happy with the result, obviously, and hoping we can continue this momentum throughout the season.
I believe this is the first team win for you.
Yes, yeah, it is. So definitely, happy for all the guys too that the evil Quan Grigglers have finally won a race. So we'll take it, and hopefully more to come.
That is a name of all time.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's for sure.
So assuming you'll be here next Tuesday at Barbagallo, what is your expectations for our first road course race of the season?
Well, definitely looking forward to it. I don't want to, boost my ego or whatever, but I definitely think I'm one of the road ringers, you could say, when it comes to those. So I think we got a pretty good chance. Hoping to go 2 in a row, and we'll see how the car unloads.
Congratulations on your race win tonight. Well deserved. Thank you for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
User was moved out of your channel.
We got one more.
User was moved to your channel.
Landon Lyle.
Hello.
Well, it was hell for you as a driver and also a race admin.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, it was
Just-
it was difficult.
But thankfully you had solos during the second half.
I did have solos during the second half, which is, I mean, he said he had overslept or something. Just, it happens. He didn't have to show up. I thought he would, but got him at half, and then he was able to deal with all the black flags and the waving and stuff. So, credit to him. I really appreciate that. Helped a lot, given the circumstances of the second half of the race.
And I find it a bit ironic because when I interviewed you with Colin Teague for the three-year anniversary talk, you did mention that Chicagoland was one of your favorite races. I don't think this race did it any justice.
Yeah, no, it absolutely didn't do any justice, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure you could just blame the drivers. I mean, and everyone knows the track is good. We did have good racing in spurts. The first half was awesome. We had a couple. I think we had 1 or 2 cautions, but that's normal procedure. It was completely fine until the server crash, and then everyone just had to go absolutely apeshit because I don't know. I just thought they could split it in half and go hard. I guess. I mean, could, but doesn't mean you have to push it. I mean, that's really what it felt like. Everyone, everyone just had to push it. I mean, it was some really good racing for the time being, but there were some people tonight that, dare I say, some of the usual suspects, but also some of the, just people I know can do better than that. And I have the mental clearance of knowing that track is fine. You know, the racing is fine. This came down to the drivers, so it is what it is. I have no um, negative thoughts about Chicagoland. It's just that people got to get their crap together. You know, this is why I have an hour of practice set so people can get their practice in. And, you know, I mean, they have all week if they want to, but they can figure out the track. You know, it's hard to figure it out a little bit on long runs because the pace always fluctuates when someone, you know, decides to save or not. And then people kind of follow along. But, yeah, I'm certainly disappointed in a lot of people tonight, especially people that spun, you know, on lap one of the restart. That's unacceptable. And I don't want it to be perfect, but I want it to be, you know, not a complete crapshoot because I think everyone should know that the track is really good, and it's just it comes down to the drivers for, you know, at that point. So that's disappointing, greatly, as I mentioned. Um, just I mean, the start of the race was a little bit scuffed, a little bit delayed because I had to get the script, but other than that, I mean, it was it was a good night, kind of. Just a lot of bad drivers, and it hindered most of that performance. It pissed a lot of people off, including Dunn, which Dunn never gets pissed off. I mean, he does sometimes, but when he does it when it matters and he's genuinely voicing a reasonable concern, which I had the same concern. Um, not, you know, this type of performance from people is not what I want to see. So I understand. Um, I can't guarantee it'll be better next time, but you know, I can guarantee that people can get penalized. And we'll just have to move on to what I think is what is it, Barbajella
Yeah.
next week. So that's fun. I love that road course.
And D2 ran there before, but D1 has
Right.
had significantly better car count. I don't suppose it'll transpire the same way, but
Mm-mm.
hopefully you have a plan for that.
Um, well, is it less than 36 people that can show up to Barbagello?
Well, I'm saying because D1 has had more car counts than D2 has on their own, assuming there it isn't a it would be if it wasn't a bushwhacking race. So
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the game can't hold that many cars. Um, I mean, if it actually can't, then I'll have to do some workarounds on that. But I'm pretty sure it can. But yeah, I mean, road courses are a little bit different. A lot more people can make a lot more mistakes, and it doesn't involve as many people, and the race can mostly go fully green with no consequence. Which is my better part, or the thing I like the most about road courses. But yeah, I don't want to make this too long now, but I do appreciate everyone that showed up. I certainly had a fun time, sarcastically, and I did actually have a little bit of fun. I mean, Carter absolutely dominated this race, mostly on short run probably, but he ripped that top like there was no other, and he completely earned that win. There was passing them he made, you know, it was also green flag passes, but he at the end of the day just had the best car, and he told me he hit the wall once that entire race, which is impressive as hell. So congrats to him. And again, it sucks we couldn't have it the way I want it to go. Not everything's gonna be perfect. You know, some races are just gonna be bad. But I do feel like it was a bit of a waste of time for some people, and that's what kind of sucks to me personally. But regardless, thank you for streaming and all the stuff you've done, as well as Bowen for the graphics tonight. Um,
well,
and
I
Saws
didn't
for the off
I
track.
didn't use them tonight, but I will next time.
No, it's all right. Um, just in general, though, I mean, all the help, little help I can get is obviously greatly appreciated. Um, but yeah, not a disappointing night, but we'll do better hopefully next week. Just gotta see how it goes.
Yep. And you finished this solid P12. Well done for your troubles. both
That's
as a
true.
driver and an admin. Thank you for joining me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
User left your channel.
And that will conclude our interviewers. Gonna wrap this up now, because I don't suppose I can last much longer with how much lightning is outside my house right now. Coming up in the NR space, Thursday, CCRS has to Kailami. As the South African Pro Course. Friday, busy as usual, Budweiser Cup Series at all the club, streamed here on MCRP. Gnarl heads to Chicago, much like BPNR did tonight. And Essex heads to Rockingham. That's going to be hell. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be hell. And Crystal knew that when making the schedule. Or maybe it was Spratling. I don't know who made the Essex schedule. But if it ends up being a crapshoot, don't say I didn't warn them. Then Saturday, IFAR heads to Lucas Oil Raceway Park on the short track, just a ways away from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That should be fun. That'll be on Cheese Brew video. Next Tuesday, sorry. It'll be Barbagallo, our first road course of the season, the Australian road course. That'll be streamed here at our usual time, 8:30. Next time I stream, it'll be the Budweiser Cup Series. So until Friday night, I shall